It's smoothie time.
Get me that kind of smoothie and get me a turkey on wheat with a little provolone and some deli mustard and Diet Coke.
And get yourself a burger. Jesus.
Get yourself a burger.
Look at this kid.
Yeah.
He weighs what? How much you weigh? This is Travis, the go-getter.
I weigh about 125, 130.
Jesus.
Oh, my God. That's how much Christian Bale weighed in The Machinist.
How tall are you?
5'7", 5'8".
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. A healthy height-to-weight ratio if you live on Neptune. Hey, listen, are you got my order correctly? I want little pretzels, too.
Oh, nice pretzel.
A little bit of Diet Coke. I want the same type of smoothie that fucking, well, you know what kind of lover he is getting. And I want a turkey on rye with some fucking little bit of provolone and deli mustard.
His body frame would be more so found on a planet with lighter gravity.
I know.
Probably
I couldn't think of
like
Neptune, Venus,
Mars or not Neptune, which has a lot of gravity, very strong gravitational pull. Would be more a short, heavier life form would be found on Neptune.
Forget Aristotle and fuck Socrates. Here comes Professor Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony, for clearing that up.
And don't think
it made sense to me. I was like, yeah.
As soon as I said it, I knew I went farther away than I should have. I should have went closer to the sun. But, good thing that you and maybe one listener picked it up.
Right.
Hey, I pardon you. All right, that's the body.
I pardon you. Okay, someone's going to challenge your theory, Anthony. Let's go to John in Virginia.
I know
John?
this.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good. It's not mine. It's Jimmy's thing that he's challenging. I was gonna, but I didn't want to be.
What theory? I'll kill everybody.
The further away from the sun you get, the more gravity on the planets.
No.
That's not true.
No, I know. I just meant I should have went to Venus or Mercury.
No, it's the size of the planet. Like Jupiter, you'd weigh like 900 pounds if you were 200.
The mass of the planet, my friend. The mass, not the size.
Not the distance to the sun.
But also the rotational spin, because Jupiter has a 10-hour day, so it rotates over almost 2.5 times per hour 24, which is why you're crushed. 10-hour day, yes.
10-hour day on Jupiter.
Spins in 10 hours. That's
the
why
entire planet spins around one revolution in 10 hours.
That's why it is such a crushing gravity.
It's the size of the planet versus the distance from the sun.
Say size of the planet again, and I'm going to throw hot coffee on you. You're right about size of the planet, but it's also the rate at which it's spinning. And you could take that to the bank.
I'm not sure about
Jupiter, 10-hour day.
Yeah, I understand, but I think the gravity is the gravity regardless of how fast the planet's spinning. I'm not sure if you're talking like centrifugal force kind of pulling you off the planet and gravity pulling you back, kind of canceling each other out.
Well, what else determines like how much? Like you weigh 200 pounds here, you weigh 900 pounds on Jupiter. What else would determine that? I mean, size of the planet. Absolutely.
Mass of the planet is the more mass you have, the more gravity you have. That's it.
But doesn't that also has to count in the speed? Because mass going at like a slow speed is different than mass going at a fast speed.
I would think if you take a scale and you put it on something that's spinning,
right,
and then put a weight on it, if you spin it faster, isn't the thing that you put on the scale going to want to fly off more, thus making it lighter or seem lighter on the scale?
Maybe the way you're saying it, yeah, but I know on Jupiter you're a lot heavier and it's spinning a lot faster. I think all those things come into play. I don't know enough about it.
I think spinning faster would make you lighter.
No.
Spinning faster would want to propel your mass off the planet's surface, which would then take your weight off that scale. The density and mass of the planet is then pulling you back, which is gravity, and that is only the mass of the planet. That has nothing to do with the spinning. The spinning might make you lighter, and I'm not sure of this, I'm just speculating, that it would try to throw you off the planet.
But then again, you'd have to be heavier to stay on it then if you're spinning faster.
Yeah,
or to prevent being thrown off, you'd have to be heavier.
Again, that's the mass. The planet would have to be spinning like a whirling dervish to fling you off of it. Well, I'm not saying you'd actually fling off of the planet, but there would probably be some kind of, if the Earth stopped spinning, we'd all croak. But for that short time, would you weigh less or more? I think you'd weigh more because you're canceling out the centrifugal force that would try to throw you off the planet. No, wait, that doesn't make sense because then you'd weigh more on the North Pole than you would on the equator. And I don't think you do. Yeah, okay, spinning does nothing. Thank you, Jim.
It might have
I've just solved my own problem.
I don't know.
You'd weigh more on the North Pole because you have no centrifugal force on the North Pole.
When's lunch? Because I want to go out back and smoke pot with my friends.
I'm trying to figure this out on the air. I'm sorry I'm working
I think it
through
might be
this.
a combination, because I know Jupiter spins extraordinarily. The crushing gravity is from the speed it's spinning and the mass. I think it's a combination.
No, the gravity has nothing to do with the spinning.
Sure it does.
Nothing.
The gravitational pull,
Nothing.
I think, has something to do with the
Absolutely not. I am saying now nothing with the spinning. I will research this.
That's what keeps us on the planet is the spinning.
No.
The spinning causes
Gravity. No, it's the mass. The planet's mass itself makes gravity.
But if the planet wasn't spinning, there'd be no gravity. You'd be floating off it.
No. No.
Just a big
Who?
planet.
Wait. You're agreeing? Nathaniel is
spinning
agreeing
causes
with me, and Derek is agreeing with Jimmy.
Because he knows I'm right. Spinning causes gravity.
No, it doesn't.
Sure it does.
Mass causes gravity.
But mass has to turn. Like, say you just take a big planet and you put it in space with no movement, everything is going to float off it. Well, I think that's why you would probably float off the moon, because maybe it does. I don't know if it spins or not.
It does spin.
Maybe it doesn't
spins
spin
at
fast
the
enough to
exact
keep
same
you.
time.
Maybe it doesn't spin fast enough to keep you, or maybe it's the lack of atmosphere.
There
I'm not
is
sure.
gravity on.
But just not enough.
Here's a planet that doesn't spin. Mars does not spin.
Okay.
And Mars has gravity because it has mass. It has less mass, so you don't have as much. You don't weigh as much on Mars as you would on Earth. But it doesn't spin.
Then there's got to be some other factor that comes into play as well. But
It's
I know
mass.
spinning has something to do with gravity.
No, sorry.
And our rotation.
I am not agreeing with you, Jimmy.
I know, but somebody will call it. Who knows?
The
I think
spinning
it's a
probably.
combination.
The spinning. The only thing I can think of is the spinning probably stabilizes the central mass, especially on Earth, which is just molten. It stabilizes it where it would stabilize the gravity, but doesn't make the gravity. Yes?
I've just been waiting here. It's quite simple.
Oh, okay.
When a mass is present in the above
the
space
highlighted
time,
part.
Look at
the highlighted line.
No, Opie, look at me when you're saying this. I want to feel
Yeah,
the connection.
eye-to-eye contact
Look at me,
when you
man.
explain to me.
Don't look off.
I want to be explained to.
guys, it's quite simple. When a mass is present in the above space-time, it distorts it so that, whilst it remains true that traveling through space causes you to travel through time.
What? Time?
Whilst
traveling through time now causes you to move, or you might want to say accelerate, Anthony, through space. In other words, just by existing, you are compelled to move through space. This, my friends, is gravity.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
Of course doesn't.
It's apples and oranges.
It's a space-time. It's planets. It's planets and moons. Let's keep it in the right area.
I say gravity is based sheerly on the mass of a planet
Combined with the spinning, with the rotation.
and nothing to do with spinning.
What do you think keeps all of our planets rotating around the sun? The fact the sun spins is what keeps us all.
It is the gravity of the huge mass of the sun. The sun is huge. The mass of the sun is huge. Then its gravity is huge. It has sucked up the planets and then has them rotating around it because of its gravitational field.
And the spin. It has to rotate.
It has nothing to do with its spin. I could understand the spin stabilizing a mass, keeping it in one spot, stabilizing the rotation around the sun. Everything's spinning, stabilized, just like a bullet rotating out of the barrel of a gun. Keeps it straight. That would keep it stabilized, but it has nothing to do with if there's a mass large enough, whether it's spinning, moving, or standing still, if it's mass, it will have gravity.
How does mass have gravity, though? How does it happen?
That's just something that is. It's a law of life and law of nature as we know it. If something has mass, it has gravity.
Just something big draws something smaller to
something, it? Yes, something with mass will have gravity. It will have an attraction.
I wish someone out there knows the answer.
Anthony, just call him a fuckface. Just get it over with.
No.
Look, fuckface.
Because I think that's a sociopathic argument to say that mass is just mass.
Mass makes gravity.
Combined with
Spinning is stabilizing. No spinning! Jimmy, there isn't spinning. Go to your outfield and spin.
No.
And have your coach call you ballerina.
I just did that. Jimmy, what are you, a physicist?
We'd get the answer, but
Jimmy starts spinning. All his playmates go flying towards him because he's all of a sudden got gravity.
No, that'll be Bob Kelly in the outfield because he's got mass.
We would have got the answer to this, but Carl Sagan's been outside the studio for 3 hours waiting to come in here.
Why do you make him wait?
If we didn't make him wait, we would have got the answer to this hours ago.
I will do the research.
Can someone call? Do we
All right, we got a few calls. Let's go to Eric.
I see we have a few calls.
Let's say hi to Eric. Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, what's up, guys? I can settle this real quick. Jupiter and Neptune are both outer planets, so they actually don't have a actual surface. They're both gaseous planets, so you can't even stand on either one of those planets. But if you want to stand on one of the Jupiter moons, there's one that's actually larger than Earth that would have more gravity. So Anthony is right. The larger the planet is based on the mass. That gives it a more gravitational pull. It has nothing to do with the spin.
But you're saying that spinning has nothing to do with the creation of gravity?
No, that's more of a almost like a centrifuge. It just keeps everything together. But the mass, the size of it is what keeps everything. So you get more gravity based on the mass of it, not really the spin.
I don't say that the size doesn't go into the amount of gravity. But I'm saying that I think that rotating has something to do with the creation of gravity or the existence of gravity.
I would say it has nothing to do with it.
And Eric, what is your background that you know this?
I actually just took my astronomy final about half an hour ago.
For college?
Astronomy final.
Yeah, at Kingsborough in Brooklyn.
There you go. We have an expert, Anthony.
High-quality college education there.
All right, let's go to Matt on Long Island. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, when they sit up and everything.
What? Matt.
It creates... So they feel more like they're on Earth.
Really?
Wait, what?
Go ahead, Matt. Try again.
I think I actually know what he's saying.
They have to spin.
In certain space station prototypes and stuff, they have a space station that spins. And the spinning space station makes artificial gravity. But what that's using is centrifugal force. What they would do is build the floor where you'd see the walls of the ship, of the station. So when you spin it at a certain speed, you'll actually fly against it like a carnival ride. That carnival ride where you would stick to the wall, but instead of laying on the wall, you're actually walking on it. And that's how you make it. Like Moonraker. The movie Moonraker. If you remember, or 2001: A Space Odyssey is another one. They showed the space station. And in that case, spinning makes gravity, but it's a whole different concept.
Right, you're saying it's centrifugal force, not actually... It's a simulation of gravity, but not real gravity.
Yeah, but not real gravity.
Maybe you are right, but I don't think you are. I still think that spinning has something to do with gravity.
Why is Steven here? Steve knows something about this?
Steve's mass is actually making gravity.
Exactly.
He's such a huge bear.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the point I was going to
Slide
make.
towards him.
If mass strictly... If mass... Did you determine? Oh, no, you didn't. If mass determines gravity and solely mass, how come larger people don't walk around with smaller people stuck to them?
All right.
Good point, Hack.
Yeah.
I really...
that wasn't even a joke. That was...
Yes, it was.
It
was attempted as a joke. You're right.
Oh, an attempt. It wasn't a joke, though. That you're correct on.
I was very serious.
Because something, in order to have gravity, needs huge amounts of mass. You need huge mass.
Ramon, bring me Stephen Hawking.
Gravity is based solely on mass.
Question
A lot
for
of people are
Anthony.
saying that.
Let's go to Vinny in Oceanside.
Vinny?
Vinny?
Hey, Opie, Anthony, Daddy.
Hi, Big Dick Daddy.
Jesus.
Hey, one thing you guys are forgetting is if you take a planet twice the size of Earth and you spin it 3 times as fast, is Anthony's periwinkle shirt still gay?
Let me calculate. I'm punching those figures in now as we speak, and yes, it's coming up full fag.
Well, that's got a gravitational theory, too. It's like the more periwinkle your shirt is, the more likely your mouth is to be drawn to a cock.
And we let that drop today.
Wait, is anybody saying I'm right at all?
I don't think so.
Okay, then
I'm
wrong.
Sorry.
If everybody's saying I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Jason is saying equally important, which I think he's trying to say that it's both spinning and mass, but I don't buy that.
I don't know what the ratio of importance is. I just think that it certainly has something to do with rotation. I'm not saying maybe centrifugal force is a part of gravity.
But centrifugal force would only make you lighter. With that theory that the spinning has something to do with gravity, spinning on the outside of the planet, say you're standing on the equator, the Earth is spinning, wouldn't it then tend to throw you off the planet, which would make you lighter, which is against gravity? That's the opposite of gravity.
I don't know in a space situation where it's a vacuum. I don't know.
I'm talking on Earth. I'm talking here on Earth. You're on the equator, it's spinning, as opposed to being on the North Pole, which is you would get no centrifugal force because you're You know, the North Pole is the pivot point.
Right.
So you're standing there on the North Pole. With your theory, you would weigh more on the North Pole than you would on the equator. Or actually, you would say you would weigh more on the equator because you're saying the spinning makes gravity.
I'm saying it's a part of gravity. And plus, even if you're not in that right location, I think the whole planet has the same amount of gravity.
Yeah, that's just it. It does, regardless of the spin. You're getting a full spin on the equator. You're getting the full, like, centrifugal force spin standing on the equator. You're getting none of it on the North Pole, yet you weigh exactly the same standing on the equator or the North Pole.
I still think, I can't argue that point because you sound like you're right. So
because I sound like
it
I'm
does sound right.
Anthony, Isaac Newton was the first scientist to define gravity mathematically when he formulated his law of universal gravitation.
Right.
Okay, the law of gravitation says that gravity is strongest between two very massive objects and gets much weaker as these objects get further apart.
Mass.
We get spin, but it has something to do with the distance, the relationship, how far away you are from them. He doesn't say...
Well, yeah, the gravity gets less the further away you get. That's why, you know, when spaceships leave the Earth's orbit, the further away they get.
But what causes the gravity?
Mass.
But he didn't say that. Isaac Newton is not saying that's what causes gravity.
He's not saying what causes it. He's not saying what causes
makes gravity. That's
what makes gravity is the mass. It's mass.
Or the importance of a situation.
Jason, what's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
The gravity of this situation.
I'm back in high school from those, the films that they made you watch in physics class. When you see the solar system start to come together, and everything's always spinning. So, like, the spinning kind of helps to bring all that mass together, which is what makes the gravity, you know? Like, it's not... Either the spinning helps to bring all those atoms and everything together over millions of years to make those massive planets and suns and all that stuff.
The spinning is a part of the planets and the way they move and react to each other's gravity.
Right.
But
it helps to bring that all together.
But it doesn't make the gravity.
No.
The rotation, the speed, everything is how it all wraps up and affects each other's gravity. Every planet in the solar system affects the other one based on its gravity, its rotation, the sun, but it doesn't cause the gravity.
Right.
The gravity is caused by the mass.
The rotation helps to make the orbits. You know, because like you have the sun sitting, when gravity affects the fabric of space-time, and the sun is sitting in the center of it, and all the planets are around it in the big bowl. You got to watch Brian Greene on Nova.
Right,
He's really
the big
good.
bowl,
The
and
big
then
bowl,
it spins
and then
around it.
The spinning of the planets is what, you know, makes the revolutions possible.
Yeah, because if you just have an object, a giant object...
Well, that would have a lot of gravity.
A giant object makes gravity,
so
period.
Things are going to be drawn to it.
Magnetic force is what keeps us from getting sucked into the center of the Earth.
Shut up.
Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense just to have a large object is going to have gravity.
I know it doesn't make sense, but it's true. It makes no sense whatsoever that just because something's large gives it this magnetic pull. But that's just the way it is.
That's so sympathetic. I don't even know if I know how to respond to that. Punch it out.
All right,
if you take a copper and wrap it up and spin it around magnets, it makes electricity. They don't even know why. They're not even really sure why a generator works, but it just happens. That's what makes it work. There's no explaining it. It's just like mass. For some reason, when something's giant, things get pulled towards it. As opposed to in a singles bar where it's exactly the opposite.
Well, then
the
again,
bigger it is, the more you shun it.
That would be wild. Like sometimes when I'm looking for paper clips or things, they're all attached to the front of Ben's pants. Maybe I'm wrong. Can we look up the definition of gravity?
Yeah, why haven't we just gotten that?
You guys...
I'll work on that tonight. I'll put together a whole
You all
report.
realize that this started because you wanted smoothies, right?
Wow. Really?
Smoothies.
How did the smoothie turn into that argument?
I don't know, because then Travis was thin, looking...
Oh, right, because
like
Travis is thin, looking like he grew up on Neptune.
That's why you always got to bear with us on this program. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what turn we're going to take.
People are sending me links to all kinds of definitions on this, and every link I've checked doesn't work. You're just wonderfully retarded people.
How about this? You go to dictionary.com and look up gravity and just see what it says.
Yeah.
Let's go to Dave in Florida. Dave?
Yeah, to shoot down Jim's theory, if the rotation, the space shuttle's in orbit, yet they have no gravity.
What?
The space shuttle, it's going as fast as the Earth spins around, yet there's no gravity on the space shuttle when it's in outer space.
Well, isn't that an atmosphere thing too? Because once you leave the Earth's atmosphere, that's the gravitational pull you're leaving.
Oh, the
That's
atmosphere.
correct.
Jimmy, the atmosphere has nothing to do with gravity.
No. But I'm saying it's like once you leave the atmosphere, that's how far the Earth's gravitational pull seems to go. Oh no, it goes far.
No, it goes really far. Goes to.
But isn't the Challenger? Wait,
really
isn't the space shuttle being held to the Earth in that rotation by the Earth's gravity?
Yeah.
Well, it has a lot to do with escape velocity, too.
Oh,
yeah, I know. I was going to say that yesterday.
Yeah.
25,000 miles per hour.
That didn't
by the way.
shoot my, what, the Earth?
No, escape velocity.
Escape velocity.
You plan on going to the moon.
So if you throw a baseball that fast, it'll never hit the ground?
It'll leave Earth's orbit.
It'll probably
what it'll do.
It'll probably be eaten up by the atmosphere. And
Guys, can we go back to talking about tits?
Sure.
I want a clear-cut definition
Tits
of gravity.
and their reaction to gravity. Gravity is the enemy of the tit, Opie. If you've noticed, gravity and time really the enemy of the tit. And I don't think we'll get any argument from that.
No.
Hawk, how about a definition?
Oh, we got it?
Or can you just think of one? Please, give him the mic.
I've just been waiting for you guys to ask me. That's all.
Finally.
Oh, my God. When it comes to physics, Anthony, the natural force of attraction exerted by a celestial body such as Earth upon objects at or near its surface, tending to draw them toward the center of the body.
It does say nothing about spin.
Gravitation,
right.
mass.
All right.
Oh, I know I'm right.
Yeah, I think you are.
Should we take a break?
Wait.
Should we take a break?
No.
Well,
the force of attraction between all masses in the universe.
Yeah, I guess
all masses, regardless of them spinning or not.
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying. Because I did acknowledge
Jimmy, you're never too old to learn something new. Don't take this as something bad. This is a good thing. You're
not
learning.
a good thing.
You're learning.
What I'm learning is I kind of should have shut my face immediately and played it like, well, I'm not too sure, but instead I took the argument. God damn it! If it wasn't for spinning, we'd all be floating. Spinning sucks my dick and it wrecks everything.
Let's go to. All right, we'll take one more because it's always fun to take a call from Alabama.
All right, Alabama.
Les, what's up?
Yeah, Joe. Answer to your rotation gravity deal.
Yeah, deal.
It's the core. It's the core that causes the gravity. The rotation of the core is what causes the gravity. The rotation of the core of the sun is what causes gravity to the sun. The core of the Earth spins rotation, and it causes gravity in the Earth. So the mass of the core is what causes the gravity.
Where did you hear this, sir?
I watch National Geographic, and I watch them nature shows and shows all the time.
Yeah, I hear you.
So you're saying that while it is a mass that has gravity...
Yeah.
Now he's listening to himself.
It's the core.
So he's saying that the core of the mass is what causes the gravity in the mass.
My beloved core!
Is what causes the gravitational pull.
So Anthony's right when he says that the mass has it, but you're saying it's the rotation of the core.
It's the rotation of the
that
mass
causes a
in
mass
the
to have
core.
it.
I will not buy this man's explanation because there
It's the
are massive
rotation of
bodies in
mass
space
in the
that
core.
have gravity and no core whatsoever. What about giant meteors in the meteor belt that are just hunks of iron and they have gravity?
And the meteor belt, they're held there by the...
I'm not talking about what they're held there by, but they themselves, if they're big enough and have enough mass, they have gravity.
But they have a core. They have a core.
No, they don't. They're just huge chunks of iron.
But then again, wait a minute.
The Earth has an independent core that rotates. You ever watch the Journey to the Center of the Earth?
He's getting his info from Journey to the Center of the Earth.
The only thing I will say, though, is when you look at something like a neutron star...
Yes. Journey to the Center of the Earth, when they dropped all them bombs to restart the core of the Earth.
Right.
Okay. When they restarted the core of the Earth, remember at the beginning of the movie, they had all kinds of bad storms, and they had the problem with the gravitational pull. When they restarted the Earth...
Then there's a giant lizard. There's a giant lizard there.
No. I'm talking about the newest version.
What about...
when they used that.
What about when they shot that spaceship into the person's body, when they made it real teeny tiny, and they had to go through his heart, and then the blood cells was trying to eat him like they was so much vittles?
No, it is the core. It is the rotation of the core that causes the gravity.
All right. Thank you, Les.
Thank you.
My only thing is I believe...
Physics with Larry the Cable
But listen,
Guy.
one of the things I have... Now, this might be a mass thing.
Yeah.
But when a star collapses on itself and becomes a black hole,
Oh, boy.
what sucks things into it is the intense gravity, and that is... I know there's tremendous spin there, which brings things in. That's why I'm thinking...
it's just the mass.
But
again.
is there
it's the
anything
mass in such a small area. If you take the mass of a huge sun and squeeze it down to the size of a softball, the gravity coming off of that softball is going to be as much as the gravity was off of the huge sun.
Right.
But in the size of a softball, it's going to suck everything in like a drain.
I still think that the rotation...
You love the rotation,
I don't know why I'm stuck on that. I've read a lot about it. I've listened to a lot of astronomy shows. I don't know why I'm thinking it goes into it.
All right. Why don't we take a break?
I'm scared.
You're scared.
Where's my smoothie?
Yeah, this all
Travis!
started with the stupid smoothie. Oh, God. These two are still at it. Now it has something to do with atoms, Anthony?
What do you think?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Gravity. Each particle of matter attracts every other particle. That's what happens. You get atoms are naturally attracted to others. So if you put enough of them in one place, in one object, they are going to want to pull other atoms toward them.
Atoms attracted to atoms. That sounds like
So
Billy's
it's-
boat cruise.
Very good.
All right.
Can we move
I
on?
was incorrect.
Oh, bananery. Remember when the Fonz couldn't say wrong?
Yeah.
Couldn't say it was wrong. What a great episode.
All right, we have time for a quick round of What Did We Learn on the Opie and Anthony program. Tekatan, I guess, from Cleveland, he didn't learn what causes gravity.
Yeah. What didn't you learn today?
Yeah. Guess that's about it, right?